Hi.
Hey, how are you?
Yeah, fine. Thanks. What about you?
I'm good.
Yeah,
So
great to hear.
I was told I was interviewing your vocalist, and so I have vocalist questions. So I'm gonna have to revamp here.
No, it's all fine. She will be joining us in a few seconds.
Oh, okay.
So it's rather me that is additionally joining, so you can
Oh,
place vocalist
fun.
questions, and I'm just here for songwriting issues and something like that. So you can basically ignore me.
No, I don't know. I'm sure you don't remember because I know you guys do a lot of interviews, but I interviewed you last time and it was so much
Yeah, I
fun.
remember this. Yeah, but we did it via Skype, I think, right?
We probably did. I did. I
Yeah.
was doing a lot of Skypes back then. It seems like that's how Napalm liked to do it for a really long time, and then they switched to Zoom, and it doesn't make any difference to me. So,
Yeah, it's all fine. But yeah.
well, that's cool. Well, what a pleasant surprise then.
Hello.
Hi.
Hey, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Good. Yeah, I was telling Lucas I was expecting you, and so I had questions specifically for you. So when he showed up, I was like, "Oh no, I gotta start trying to come up with different questions in my brain."
I'm here.
Your guys' second album comes out much quicker, I'm sure, than it felt like the first one. Although you guys came out of the pandemic, you guys were recording during the pandemic, weren't you?
Yes,
Did
for the
you
first one, definitely.
Did you guys start before that and then had to kind of revamp the recording process, or did you start during that? Did it get birthed in the pandemic?
Yeah, we actually
It burst in the pandemic. Yeah.
Yeah, we actually started the band during the pandemic, and yeah, it was just the pandemic was starting in early 2020, I think it was, and then yeah, we yeah started Hiraes and also wrote the first songs and recorded the first songs and released the first album. That was all happening during the pandemic, and so yeah, we are quite happy that right now we have different opportunities
Yeah.
in all terms, I would say.
Well, thank goodness, first of all, that good music was coming out during that time because that was obviously a very miserable time. Well, it was and wasn't. There was a lot of bad aspects, but it was also really nice to be at home and away from people. But I was really thankful
I've-
that there was music coming out during that time. Since you guys obviously recorded from your homes and had to kind of collaborate that way, how was the difference with this album? And I'm assuming recording together this time.
Oh no, we did not record together.
Oh,
Like,
you
and
did.
we all have our home studios, like for the longest
Oh,
time, and like making an album can be a very heavy on the financial side, and so like as like a matured musician, as I would call every one of us, like everyone has like professional audio equipment at home. So instead of putting our money into renting a studio for the recordings, we put all our money into mixing and mastering. So
smart.
so yeah, I think we recorded kind of in the same way as the previous record, but the writing process was of course completely different. Really, yeah.
So, what made the writing process so different this time around?
Yeah, it was somewhat was the same. I started writing guitar riffs, and afterwards we proceeded a bit deeper into the songwriting. But in general, we had the opportunity to work together on the songs, to meet in the rehearsal room, and we also played numerous shows. We're together in the tour van or in the backstage areas, and really used this to talk about song structures, about arrangements, about melodies, and everything like that. And yeah, this was really a great chance for us to intensify the whole work on the single songs and on the album as a whole. And yeah, that was really a great thing to do.
Did you find the process much smoother that way then, since you guys were able to collaborate a little bit easier?
I would say that it was even a bit harder because there are five persons with five opportunities, and they all have to be merged somehow. And
Yeah.
when you just yeah do the songwriting quite remote, then I was there saying, okay, the song is finished. Then Britta said, okay, let's modify it a bit, and then it's finished, and all was fine. But now there are so many ideas and so many yeah different kind of approaches how to work on the songs. But yeah, it all this very yeah intense work we put in there finally was good, that we did it and that we invested the time to make the songs the best ones that we could write during that time.
Yeah. It's an incredible album too. I mean, it starts off fierce. There's no like easing your way into it. It's in your face right off the bat. And I thought that was really cool. And then if anything, it kind of ends with like the breather, you know, with Dormant. Um, but you, Britta, this time do cleans in one of the songs. How was that?
Actually, actually, in two of the songs I do cleans. Yeah, wild. It was wild.
You sound
I
great.
mean, thank you. I practiced a lot. Well, yeah, I mean, obviously, like as a singer in any kind of genre, you have basic skills in singing. Clean singing is something that you kind of have to not master, but be decent in when you want to do harsh vocals. But I never would call my it's like my home base is harsh vocals. So the approach that I had for my clean singing was like, okay, like it cannot be that the clean singing is is just decent and the harsh vocals are really good, so I have to level up to that. So yeah, I took a bunch of singing lessons and worked with amazing people, just to maybe just even give me my confidence that like, hey, you can do that, you sound great, you can totally do that. And I just didn't want the songs to fall apart, because it was a I think it somehow snuck up all the way to the top of my bucket list. And then I thought, okay, I now have to do this, record clean vocals for an album. And the guys, like, they kind of forced me to do it as well. Like, they were like, no, do it. And I'm like, no, I don't want to. Yes, do it.
Well,
Now I'm thankful, but we
yeah,
won't tell the others.
yeah, yeah, because you might be asked to do it more and more in the future. So have you guys sang either of those songs live yet, or are you planning to? And how do you feel about that if you haven't and are going to?
Yeah, I think we will definitely play all songs live and also those with clean vocals, and we will manage that. We were very much, in general, we were very much looking forward to play those songs live. We already played one song, the first one, Through the Storm, here at a German festival in November, right after the release. And yeah, we really got positive feedback from the audience. And yeah, we will see. We're so much looking forward to play all the songs live in January when the record will come out. We directly on that day we have a release show, and a small tour will follow. And I think this will be a great time, and we will party every night and enjoying each other's and yeah, get the feedback from the fans. This is really, yeah, compared to the first album, a really good thing that we can talk directly to the fans, and on the very day the album will be released, have the chance to get feedback and to talk to them at the merch booth and everything. So yeah, will be great, hopefully.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure it will be. And I'm glad you guys are doing a release party. I think that's so much fun for fans to be able to be a part of those things. You know, obviously it's a huge thing for you guys to, because you put so much work and effort into it. So to be able to share that with the people that really enjoy your music is really neat. So how are you feeling about doing the cleans live? Are you feeling more confident now?
Oh yes, a lot more confident. Like I'm practicing the hell out of these songs, and I feel surprisingly confident doing the clean vocals. I mean, it's one thing to record a song under like laboratory environment, so to speak, like very controlled environment, and then to make it work for a live show. Because like as a singer, I have to keep in mind that I need to breathe, and I don't have necessarily have to do that on an album. So when I overlap on an album, it's okay, but I cannot overlap live. So I kind of need to rework all the songs and make them singable in a live environment. And there's one song on the record that's probably the hardest, and that's a song called Night Flight. I don't know what I thought when I was recording that, but I have no time to breathe at all, like really
Oh,
at all.
geez.
And I practiced that, and I was expecting the clean parts to be difficult. And they weren't. And now this song is just kind of like a neck breaker. It's really
Oh.
like, oh yeah, hi song, it's me. Uh,
Well, I'm sure you'll figure out how to be able to give yourself, hopefully, some breaks.
Yeah, it will all work out. I mean, it's always the same. Like at first you think like how can I possibly manage to do that in a good way? And then like a year after, like how was that even hard? Like it's funny like how things work. Yeah.
It's already like solidified, and you already have the song obviously created and how it is in your minds. It's probably even more difficult to recreate a song versus create a song in the first place, if that makes sense.
Your audio was off at the beginning of the
Oh,
question. Can you repeat the question?
yeah. Yeah. I said, I wonder if it would be more difficult to revamp a song that's already solidified and one that's already like created and in your mind than actually creating a song in the first place. So having to go back and figure out how to do this song live seems like it might be more difficult than just creating it in the first place.
I'm not sure if it's more difficult. I think it's just a whole different exercise that you have to do. The one is creative, and the other one is just more like I feel like a carpenter. I need to put it together to make it work, but it feels more like a craftsmanship and not so much like the work of an artist, which is writing a song. And it's just you go through these phases and you get used to that. And yeah, it's a fun work because creativity doesn't always hit when you need it, but you can just work your way through the song. It's just being like not being lazy is the key here, and then just do it.
Right. Yeah. So with that, um, when you get, if you guys have, I mean, this, you guys are still pretty new as far as this project. I know you guys are all seasoned musicians outside of this project before. But when you get like the quote unquote writer's block or creativity block, what are some things that you do to try to overcome that?
Yeah.
I write.
The-
Lucas, go first. Go first.
No, I just wanted to make a small joke. And there's one thing that's called deadlines that really triggers your creativity.
Oh
And then
gosh.
you have to then you have to write songs and have to write riffs. And yeah, yeah, it's not a bad thing at all, because for me at least, when I have a bit pressure, then I'm really work efficiently. It's always a hard time, and it really hurts here and there. But afterwards, I think, okay, you did it, you managed to do it, and it worked out somehow. But yeah, I think there are better strategies than this.
Yeah, I think writer's block per se is something that I mean, it can happen when you don't have a source of inspiration, but like for me, it's kind of since I'm in second row, like the song is created or the basic parts of the songs are created when I come in. So I just like, I take the song and I play it in the rehearsal room and I just sing gibberish and then words start to emerge. And I've kind of learned to work my way through. I don't want to say writer's block, but sometimes there seems to be like a writer's traffic jam where you kind of don't know or can decide in which direction you wanna push a song. So I just kind of like work through that, and sometimes like it comes in handy when you have like a certain toolbox, um, some rhyme dictionaries or something like that can help, or like some associations where you just go from one to the other, or even just like talk about certain topics with other people is really helpful here. But like, yeah, it's been a while since I had a writer's block. Usually I have a writer's block when I have not created for a long time, but when I'm in the
Mm.
process, I I don't have that block. That might not be that I'm satisfied with what I'm writing. So 99% of what I produce is junk and goes to the trash bin. But unless you're not afraid to throw your work away, you need to dig to get those pearls, It's that thing.
Speaking of your lyrical content, you have some really incredible yeah, lyrics. You have a really good way of saying like what people feel, and coming out on the brighter side of that, which you know, people that don't listen to metal don't get that. Like they don't get that there is a brighter side. I think they automatically, especially when there's harsh vocals, automatically just think it's all doom and gloom. But you have a really good way of that balancing act and coming out with those, like you said, those pearls, but it's like pearls of wisdom. Um, Obviously that's on purpose. What made you choose that direction, or where does that come from, I guess?
It comes from Lukas riffs. I did not know before I joined Hiraes that I was able of writing these kind of lyrics where exactly what you said, like there is something dark happening, but you see the light at the end of the tunnel, or something like that. And I think that's if I had to characterize or generalize the feeling that I get from Lukas riffs, it's usually always that feeling that even though despite of like we're gonna kind of like make it. And from my point of view, at the beginning of the writing of Solitary, I felt uncomfortable because I was used to just writing dark shit. and and all of a sudden, like I have this bright side, like this, like glooming inside of me, and I try to not stand in the way. I try to not fight with that feeling. I try to take the layer of limitation away and just leave it be. So, and I think that's the perk of getting older, is like you kind of learn how to trust yourself with that, and I don't feel non-metal when I write positive things.
Sure.
If that makes any sense. So like yeah, I try to be direct, and if you like the lyrics, especially as a native speaker, that's making me yay.
No, you're an incredible lyricist, and I love that that's where the inspiration comes from, is from the music. That's I don't know if I've ever heard that before. Usually it's, you know, life experiences or books or from wherever, but that's really neat that it's coming strictly from the music. I didn't expect that answer, so that's really interesting. Um, and that, I mean, I would be curious if that is like a for lack of a better word, like internal like giddiness, like internal happiness that comes with the project. You know, I think sometimes we feel that something's right and something's good, and obviously you guys have already created a big name for yourself in a short period of time. So I wonder if there was like that internal like this is good, this is right, you know?
Oh, definitely. Like, I mean, if Hiraes is a dish, I tasted it and I loved it and I want to eat more. Definitely. Like, and also like I mean, it's called a band right from the get-go, but I mean, we banded and bonded more over the time through playing live. And I mean, it's one thing to sit in the van when everything is going smoothly, but it's a completely different thing if you had only 1 hour of sleep and you have like bad weather and you're late for the next sound check and you don't have any money to put in the gas tank, and it's totally different scenario. And we had all that. So like we kind of grew together, and it's like, yeah, we kind of like glued together at the musical hip, if you want to
Yeah.
phrase it like that.
Yeah, I always say bands are like marriages, and the more members, the more complications that can come with it. So being able to go through those hard times and come together is a really special thing. It's not something a lot of bands I think are able to do, you know. So that's great. My next question that I ask everybody, I don't know if I was asking this question last time I talked to you, Lukas, but what are some things you do for self-care, either at home or on the road or both? So things that you do for yourself to keep yourself balanced, to keep yourself okay when you guys are working so hard on both the music and touring.
Oh, that's a hard question. Not enough, I would say. But yeah, I have a dog, and yeah, just go through nature and walk around a bit. And especially when being on tour, it's always good. Yeah, Britta also said this in an interview in the past, but it's always good to take some naps wherever you can because sleep is really not present on tour. And when you sit in the van and you just sleep 1 hour, then it's all fine if you do it because wherever you can take a nap, and this is recreation enough. And of course, if you can eat good food in the backstage area, then do it and just relax a bit and yeah, of course, also this. Yeah, the chemistry between us is always very yeah, open and relaxed, and even if it's really stressful, like the last show we played on the last tour, we were eating our dinner and someone came in and said, "Hey, what you doing there? You have to be on stage in 10 minutes." And we just said, okay, put away our food, got on our stage vest, and then walked directly on stage. It was just like no one said, "No, I want to eat." Oh no, it's such a hassle right now. It was really like, okay, we're doing it. Yeah, it's all fine.
Jeez, that would be a hard. I think that would be hard. I don't know. I guess when you're doing it every night, it might not be as hard, but I think my brain would be like short circuit, like, oh no, okay, wait, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was a very cool moment because like we thought of it more like a fun challenge. So like, okay, I mean, it was really hot as hell on that day. It was in August and we weren't even dressed. Like everyone was just like barely wearing anything or like the minimum of not being naked. And then like with potato and fork in my mouth, like I kind of did my hair and put my stuff on it. It was really funny. Like it was yeah, I remember that moment when we all stood there was like, okay. Yeah, it was really fun.
What about you as far as self-care?
Oh, like I have to maintain a certain certain way of like not losing my voice because if I don't sleep and I don't eat and I drink too much and I party too hard and I scream and yell when I'm drunk, then I won't be able to sustain a tour. And so the longer the tour, the less party for Britta, unfortunately. But yeah, I mean, other than that. Um, as you grow together as a band, everyone has a bad day sometimes. And by now, it happened to everyone in the band. And we have learned to turn to each other and seek out partners who we can talk to. We can talk, everyone in the band can talk to everyone in the band, which is like something really good. But like there's so much understanding when you have a bad day in that band. They like we're friends and we take care for each other and we look out for each other and like we have each other's back. So whenever there's a problem, you speak up and everyone is just there to support you. And this is a really wonderful feeling. Even in a situation like I lost my voice for one show. I made a mistake the one night and the other night I couldn't sing. And there was no word of bitterness or something. Okay, we're going to work through this. Like what are we doing? What are our options? So this is really just a perfect environment for making the best out of a bad situation. That's
Yeah.
it. And when someone says like, "Hey, I need someone to take over the wheel because I'm tired," we need to take turns regularly. That's always. We don't have a pooper in the band. We don't have a person of bad mood.
Oh, that's so great. And that support is so, so important, especially when you're spending so much time together. So what are
Yeah.
something, do you guys ever like when you're touring or even when you're just like rehearsing and stuff, is there anything that you guys do together? Like some bands like play Magic the Gathering or, play video games or whatever. Is there anything you guys do as a band together like that? Watch movies.
I
We
think we
we
have a small video game crew growing. I'm not part of that. I don't know what they were playing. Like, were you a part of that, Lucas? That game
no,
night
I'm not
going
into
on?
video
That
games
was
now.
okay. No, no, I don't think so. I don't. We have. I think everyone has their own little thing. And then
Mhm.
we have like Bogus, our merchandiser, and Christian, our bass player, and Matthias, our drummer. I think they started like this gaming session. It's funny when you're driving like on the autobahn at night, and all of a sudden you hear like from the backseat. This is like what? Oh God!
Yeah. That zombie killed me.
That's
What?
what's gonna start a fight.
Careful, like where?
Do you guys listen to music
Uh,
together?
oh yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Even especially after show, we have some like DJ contests going on and sing-alongs going on, and yeah.
Do you all listen to similar styles of music, or are you kind of all like all over the board?
I think we make the same music together, but we all listen to different kinds of music. So it's
Mm.
just like there might be some bands that we can agree on, but I think everyone is listening to different music, and that's always a funny thing. Also, when we create some random playlists, so just name a song that you want to hear, and then you hear, and the next one is a blues rock one or something like that. It's always very funny.
So what are
Yeah, that's true.
what are each of yours top 3 to 5 bands personally?
Face No More, Gojira, and the third one, there are so many great bands. I say Lorna Shore.
Yeah, for me it would be Hypocrisy. Then maybe it's always a hard thing for me. I would say like Hypocrisy, maybe something like Opeth or something like that. It's I don't know, and maybe a band here from Germany called Long Distance Calling. But yeah, there are some more that really do not come to my mind when I'm asked those questions. So
Yeah,
yeah, but
it's being put on the
yeah,
spot. Yeah. I saw actually you, Britta, with a picture of the Mr. Bungle Raging Wrath of the Easter Bunny. I actually got to see them or it might have been earlier this year on that tour. That's one of my favorites, as well as Faith No More. I'm a big Patton fan. So I immediately was like, oh, I like her. She likes some good music, especially with Mr. Bungle, because
Oh,
they obviously did something so different from what the average Mr. Bungle fan knows that they do. And so not very many people that were Bungle fans appreciated that album like I did.
it's ridiculous. I mean, like, but you know what? I like a dream came true yesterday for me, like a childhood, a dream that I had from my teens. And I bought Mr. Bungle tickets. I'm gonna see them in Berlin, and I'm just like, they're coming to Berlin. Oh my God!
Oh my gosh. And
So it's the
it
one
is,
thing that the one band that is really high up on my mind. I gotta see this band before I die. Now I
that's
gotta manage to stay alive until summer.
yeah, yes, please do longer than that so we can get some more music from you guys. But I felt the same way. Mr. Bungle has been on my bucket list, so when they came back I was like, we traveled for it, and we don't travel for shows, but and it is worth it. It is definitely worth the show. They are all obviously incredible for so many different reasons and so many different projects, but he's pretty amazing live. It's worth it. I hope you very much
Yes.
enjoy it. Now I know that this is probably not a question you guys can quite answer yet. Is there any plans for possible future states tour?
No plans, and not in the near future, but ideas.
Yeah.
Ideas that, for the first time, I think might be able to be put into reality, to say it very vaguely. So like, I mean, it's a huge financial investment and risk, and we need to see how things develop down the road. But we have ideas, and it would be like dream come true, like just to tour in a completely different environment, like that we used to. And we have so many fans from the US. Like so many people get back to us and they're like commenting and writing our DMs, and we try to answer everyone and just get back to everyone. It would be just like so great. Yeah, so I cannot spill any more beans because there are no more beans to spill at this point in time. But yeah, we have it written on our wish list, and hopefully, fingers crossed, it will happen.
I hope you guys are able to. I agree. There is a big demand here. And your guys' the 2 videos that you've released so far. I mean, one you just, what was it, yesterday released, and it's like got tons of views already. I'm trying to remember what it
Yeah,
was
it's
last time
crazy.
I looked. Yeah, it was like, was it 70,000 that I saw? I'm trying to remember what the number was now. But yeah, and then 3 weeks ago, yeah, even obviously much more. So, and people that are just discovering you for the first time that hadn't been around for the first album. So you're already before the album's even out, gaining more and more interest and more excitement. And this album's incredible. I did want to ask about, oh gosh, let me see if I can remember. Red Soil. Red Soil.
Uh,
I love that song. Tell me about it.
Yeah, that song I wrote maybe out of Britta's idea to have a song on the album that is not that very happy. So the songs are not happy all, but there's always this positive feeling, and I really sat down and yeah, got inspired by all that what is going on in the world, all those negative things, war, hunger, poverty and whatever. And yeah, that really, yeah, I soaked in those negative feelings and tried to put it in a song. And yeah, this song came out.
So creative. It's so creative musically and obviously lyrically. But that one, I mean, the whole album is like every song has something different to offer, and I love that. I love that with albums. It doesn't happen. It's happening maybe a little bit more often nowadays, but it doesn't always happen, so sometimes it can get kind of boring, and you guys are definitely far from a boring band, and every song has different things to offer. That one in general though, was it just seemed like it had some shifts throughout it, and it had some surprises in it. And I just it's an incredible song. I really dig that one a lot.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you so much. It's probably the only song on the album with not a positive outcome.
I know, which is funny
Um,
as I'm talking about positive lyrics and something that you guys, but yeah, it is, and it's a very
yeah,
realistic song though.
I have never experienced war, and hopefully I won't have to. But yeah, I spoke to people who have experienced war, and this is just like what I kind of like came up with. But hey Nika, we kind of have to wrap it up
Oh
because
yes.
like we're already a little late for
Oh
our
my
next
gosh, I'm
interview, and
so
I don't
sorry,
want
guys.
to.
Have a wonderful
It's
rest of
okay,
your
it's
day.
okay.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure to speak to you, and hopefully see you soon.
Yeah.
Yes, I hope so. I hope so. Thank you. Have a good day.
Yeah, bye
Yeah,
bye.
you too.
Bye.
Bye
Thanks.
bye.